recording. And so today we try to finish part 2 of the structure. And part 1 we cover primarily structural steel, right, and including column, beam system, right, and a grid line, how to set up grid line, right, etc. So today we're gonna do the concrete and reinforcing parts. You may be wondering, okay, we already done some concrete. Yes, we've done some, right? We create a simple footing, right? We create a concrete wall, etc. Right? Today, the concrete we're going to cover is we're going to customize, right, some of the elements. So if you remember, I think the first couple lectures I mentioned, right? If you want to say, okay, what's the guy's levels of beam level, right? We typically use a scale of customize the element, right? That's a good indication. If you can customize a lot of stuff, so basically he's kind of an expert, right? So today what I cover is actually we call semi customization. It's not a a full customization. You need working with so-called family, right? Create a new family, etc. So for working with existing elements, right, and that's what we call the semi customization, right? So after today, pretty much you already know majority of the structural modeling, right? Structural modeling. This structural modeling is especially important for contractor, right? For example, if you are an architect, designer, interior designer, whatever, landscaper, you probably want more, like I say, when you model something, you said, okay, I want it looks pretty, right? Looks pretty, looks artistic, but they probably don't worry about too much about rebar and concrete inside, right? But as a contractor, this is extremely important, right? Because contractor, you worry about how you're going to build it, right? And actually, a lot of stuff is in the structural part, right? Structural part. So before we start, okay, let's first take a look, a couple examples, right? And this is a footing, right? And you can see this is another footing. They call it step footing, right? And from what you learn, you can, of course, what you learn so far is we can create a footing like this, right? And we can create a footing like that underneath the wall. Then what about the step part, right? As you know, we haven't learned anything to create that part, right? This one also, this is, well, it's easy, right, to create a concrete wall. But what about if we need some pocket, right? Big pocket like this in the wall. And also think about the power outlet, right? And this is a drywall. What about if you put a power outlet in a concrete? You need to kind of free, right? Have this pocket in the exact location, the size, right? To fit your electrical outlet. And this is another example. You can see what they call this. Called brick ledge, right? The brick ledge is, for example, is this your foundation wall? You have a brick veneer, right? And so you need to have the brick ledge to receive your bricks, right? So this this is another example where you have customized. Your wall is not just like rectangle wall, right? A lot of times you need to do something like this here, right? And the pocket over here, right? So so that's something why we need to learn some basic skill to customize something, right? So today we're gonna show you how we create those customized items. All right, and afterward, we'll start working on rebar, right? Start working on rebar. So rebar, you can, footing rebar, concrete wall rebar, and floor, right? Different shape. Okay, this example, you can see this is the pin model rebar. This is the actual, right? And what's the major difference? Right? Probably you don't have a wiring part, right? The tie, right? The rest of the part is pretty much everything should, is there. And you didn't have the tie, right? Of course, the wiring part, because it's not worth it, right? It's not worth it to have that, to model the wire, right? But you can see is a quite detailed, right? Quite detailed. So the good part is it's fairly easy, actually. To model rebar in Rivet, it's easier than you radial plan. When you how many of you done rebar quantity takeoff in your 378 class? None of you? Yeah, when I taught that class, all the students had to do a rebar takeoff. Right? It's very tedious, very time consuming, right? Because you have to read, okay, 16-inch on center, number 5 bar each side, each way, right? And a lot of this detail reading. The good part is when you do the Rivet rebar modeling, it's faster than you radial plan, right? Than you count your rebar on your plan. So other example, you can see footing rebar, right, and wall, and this is a masonry reinforcing. Yeah, you can do masonry reinforcing too, right? The rebar in a structural wall made of CMU, right, and some like this, right. You can see all kinds of different concrete wall. So that's a big part, right? Rebar is a big part, and also is expensive part, right? And so if you get a wrong quantity, right? And it's expensive not only for material but also labor, right? This both labor and material, right? So you can see the right and different. So I'll show you one model. You have a concrete reinforcing with 2 openings, right? You can see this gives you a section view, right? Top view, you have a vertical rebar, horizontal rebar, right, on both sides. And this is another way to create rebar. We said, right, quite flexible. And this way, you simply tell the computer, right, okay, I need this type of rebar, right? Let's see, for C shape or L shape, right? Along this path, right? You can define a path, then they create rebar along this path. Or I need this shape of rebar, right? Go along the curve, right? And then you can create that. So it's actually quite flexible, right? The bottom line is, right, and you can always create majority of reinforcing using a section plan like this, right? This is, you can think about this as a beam, right, grade beam or footing, right, because they are pretty much similar. Bottom bar, top bar, sometimes you have middle, and then it has start, right? And you can see that, right? So the difference between this one and this one just show you the what? Kind of like a wire, right? But actually it's because of view. This actually is this one, right? Is this one. But when you want to view in a 3D solid way, you can view like that. Otherwise, it's like this one, right? This one also show you the dash box. That's represent the effective area, right? Outside the box is actually your protection, right? And this, when you design your beam, right, you're going to count only what within the box, right? Because that's what we call the effective, right? And loading area. Right? Outside is just protection. All right. So that's what we're gonna cover today, right? And then Wednesday lab, you will have an opportunity to practice, right? Some example we showed today. Next week, if you look at the schedule, next week is actually full break, right? Monday we don't have class, so by Wednesday you're going to have another structural lab, right? Week 10, 23rd, we actually going to give you the term project. Same time we're going to cover the stair, right? Stair and railing. Right? So that's pretty much the next 2 weeks we're going to do, right? This week and the next week, next 2 weeks. All right. Get your Rivet up running. All right, and then we start a new architectural project from scratch. Okay. First of all, like always, let's draw a box, right? Use wall, architectural wall, and first we draw a box, right? And from there, let's, right, select the wall and change the wall to what? To concrete, right? Select all in view and change your wall from generic to 12-inch concrete. By doing this way, we avoid the change the, you know, if you go directly to the foundation 12-inch, it's actually go to the basement, right? So by this way, it's not going to go to the basement, right? Instead. So afterward, right, let's change our level 1 view range, right? Change our level 1 view range to 10 feet below, right? 10 feet below. Say apply. All right. And next thing is we can start add some footing, right? Add footing, right? You go to structure, wall footing, right? Go to foundation, wall, and pick the wall, right? All right, easy part, right? Then you should have something like this. So everyone with me, right? Okay, afterward, then go to your south elevation. Afterward, don't click your south elevation. So if you think about, you know, how you're going to create a step footing, right? And your first thought might be, right? Okay, if I step my wall, right, my footing gonna follow the wall, so it's gonna be a step footing, right? Well, it's right, and to some extent, right? For example, let's go to use south elevation, and let's edit a profile of your wall, right? We can create a, right? Let's do. Right, let's do this. Let's draw a step footing. No, not draw step footing. We draw a stepped wall, right? So by doing that, right, and we trim this off, right? We do that. We trim this part off. Right, if we have a stepped wall, so our footing is supposed to go to the bottom, right? And after you get this done, just click finish. All right, yes, we did get some step footing, right? But this step footing is not a really the one we are looking for, right? Because typically you won't have a step footing like this, right? Because it's not connected to each other, right? At all. So that's not a typical, right? Not typical. So continue on the south elevation. When you think this is going to be the way to use that? Only when you have the step is very shallow, right? Very small steps, right? For example, let's go back to edit profile again. So if you have some kind of footing like the step is very shallow, for example, like this, right? A very tiny steps, like that. Okay, it might be a good way, right? Because you can see this possibly going to satisfy the structural need, right? Because afterward your footing still connected, right? In some of the small load, that's probably not a big deal, right? You can have step footing like that. Anything like significant like this, right? So we have to use customization, right? Let me show you one example how we do the customization, right? Let's stay on the south elevation. Stay on south elevation. Okay. Okay. If you are not structural, right? And take a look, you have a component over there, right? So if we click on architecture, you also have a component, the same logo, right? If you click the system, you also have a component over here, right? That means this is actually kind of universal, right? And what does that mean, right? Let's click on the structural part. So the component, one way you can do is help you to load something, just like you load library, right? If you say I'm going to place a component, right, and load family, then you do something, right? Another one called model in place. What does that mean? Model in place actually going to help you to do the customization, right? Let's click on model in place. So first of all, your computer is going to ask you what kind of a model you want to create, right? We want to actually create a structural, right? Make sure you've got the structural is checked, the other part unchecked, right? So only the structure checked, other part unchecked, right? So from there, you can go to, since we want to create a customized footing, right? That should go to what? Structural foundation, right? So your footing is a foundation, right? Part of the foundation. So we go to structural foundation, say okay, right? We're going to create a step footing as a part of the structural foundation. So let's give a name called step footing, right? G1, right? Step footing 1. So you might have a multiple, right? Just give a name, right? Okay. Now you're getting into a familiar mode, right? We call sketch mode, right? And well, this time is a little bit different. You guys, okay, take a look at those methods, right? Extrusion, blend, revolve, sweep, and sweep blend, right? Void form, right? Those are the one for us to use to create the customized shape, right? So we learn create something by extrusion in which part? The roofing part, right? We draw freestyle roofing. Remember that? How we create by extrusion? We draw a curved line, let's that line extruded, right? The reason we can just draw a single line, to extrude it, because the roof typically have the same thickness, right? Basically, you draw a line, you already have the profile, right? But footing is different, so we have to draw a profile instead of one line, right? So we're going to use create by extrusion, right? We click on extrusion. So if we want to create by extrusion, we first have to draw a profile of the footing, right? So you're given 3 choices, and to determine which one you're going to use, okay? First of all is, and think about it, you're going to draw a profile, right? And you're going to want to know which surface you're going to draw your profile. You're going to need a surface parallel to what you see, right? And so you can use a named surface, means, right? You give a name, for example, name your gray line, right? And level 1 is a named surface, right? Level 2 is a named surface. For example, if you create a gray line, like we did last time, right? Gray line 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, and D, right? Each one of this is actually a vertical surface, right? Also, we call that a named surface, right? Unless you have the named surface, right? And you won't do that, right? So the second way you can do that is pick a plane, right? Let's do that. If there's a existing plane, you can draw. So, or if you say, okay, I need to pick a line within a plane, right? That's another way. So let's just pick the default. So we're gonna pick a plane, then draw a profile, right? So typically, if we can pick the exterior surface of this footing, that would be nice, right? So let's give it a try. So when you move your cursor closer to the footing, you see this blue line represents a horizontal surface, right? That's not what we want to do, right? And this one represents a horizontal surface at the bottom of the footing, right? So we move to the middle, right? This is the vertical surface of your exterior surface of your footing, right? That's the plane we need to pick, right? Do you see that? You'll highlight this one until you see this. So click on that. So we pick this surface to draw the profile, right? Let's start to draw the profile, all right? So we're going to draw a profile from the top, let's assume, right? From the top of your footing, go down a little bit, go horizontal, and then go diagonal, and horizontal, diagonal, right? Horizontal, diagonal, right? And you could go this, and whatever shape you want to, right? Then we go all the way back to the top of the footing and have a enclosed area, right? So the computer actually going to base the profile, extruded this profile, so to create a step footing, right? The reason we can do that is because you can see all the footing can be extruded, right? Because the profile, side profile, never change this direction, right? You can see if I draw the profile like this, extrude this way, it won't be okay, right? So, so let's click on finish. All right, you probably notice, right? You can go further to edit if you want to, right? You can drag this up and down, whatever direction you want to do, right? You can actually do the same thing right here, right? It depends on what you want to do, right? So if you take a look in a 3D view, all right, okay, we have a step footing, right? We can drag this one. You see this thickness, there's a thickness arrow, right? If you drag that, you can see we make it much bigger. See that? We get it much bigger. But what about if I want to make this the same thickness as my existing footing, right? You can use a line, right? Click on line. When you use the line command, the first one pick the reference, right? That reference is my existing. Then I said I'm going to align this surface to my existing one, right? See, it's aligned, right? Then we go to the other side. we do the same thing, right? We pick this one, existing one, and we pick this one and say, okay, align, right? Now, your new step footing have the exactly same thickness as your existing, right? We actually, if we want to, we can actually join geometry of these two, right? Join this one with, okay, okay, finish model first, right? You're gonna finish before you can join, right? You're gonna finish your model first, then you can go join geometry, right? Join geometry, let's pick this one, and pick this one. All right, you can also specify material, right? For example, if I click on this one, now there's no material specification, right? If I go there, say edit in place, so I can pick a material, right? For example, now if we go to material, there's only a limited number of material you can select: steel, concrete, precast, wood, right? Should be concrete. You can also pick a Omni class number. The Omni class actually show you that actually is one way you can do estimate, right? So for example, their numbering system, you probably looks like ARMS means for correct. So you go there, so you can say, okay, special foundation, right? Say you can give that, right? Let's see that. All right, that's a not too complicated, right? But I think I want you to remember, right, what we did. First, we go to component. In the component, we go to what? Model in place, right? So we go to model in place. Then we pick a plan to draw, pick a vertical plan to draw the profile, right, on the elevation. Then we extrude it, right? We extruded this one. Okay, let's go to level 1. Let's create 2 section plan, right? And we can wait a second, right? And before we, okay, not section. Right? Let's go to create a ref plan, right? Ref plan. This time we're going to learn how to create a name reference plan, right? First, let's draw a well, okay, let me cancel this one. Hit escape twice. Okay, let's see if without a reference plan what will happen, right? Without a reference plan, what can happen? Let's click on 3D view. So what we want to do, we're going to create a pocket, beam pocket on the concrete wall, right? First, let's try without a reference plan what's going to happen, right? So now, let's create one member on this side, right? Okay, we want to create a beam pocket on this wall. Remember, your beam pocket is also a component. Okay? Component, model in place. This one is no longer a foundation category, it's actually a wall category, right? Because this beam pocket is on the wall. So we call this pocket 1, PK1, give a name, right? All right, let's zoom in. So we want to create a beam pocket on here, right? So this time, you're not going to go by, okay, you're going to still go by extrusion, but remember this pocket is not a solid, it's a void, right?
Where was the pocket at that you went to do the pocket?
We haven't drawn the pocket yet.
Okay. What were the last few steps that you did at that last
You click on the components, right? And model in place. They go to a wall because your pocket is actually a structural wall. Make sure it's a structural part, right? And actually, that's a structure.
Is it on a structural part?
Well, you go to components, one place, turn off all the other ones, so you only have structure left. Turn off all the other. So now you go to the wall and make sure it's structural, right? Okay, just give a name. Yeah, give a name. Still work on this. Well, it is because you need to trim this off. Yeah, it gotta be a close, right, profile.
Okay.
So otherwise you don't have this, right? You cannot have overlap, cannot have duplication. Okay, let's first, a bin pocket is a void. It's not a solid, right? So then we say, okay, this is a void form. Let's go to void extrusion. So, but we can still create the void shape by extrusion, right? Because it's easy, right? By doing by extrusion, it's easy. You can see the short video, right? You can create something, a void within a solid, right? It's easy to cut, right? Let's click on that, void extrusion. So let's draw a box. And all right, so I really want to cut a opening over here, right? Looks like I got it in the right place, right, on top of the wall. So I can go my -2, so that means my thickness is going to go down 2 feet. Say done. All right. So where it goes, all right? Well, let's take a look at from another angle. Right, it's here. But where is it? Actually, is this one? It's far, far away from my wall, right? Remember I draw this on top of my wall? What happened? Why is it end up here?
It's on 3D view.
Because you're on 3D view, right? That's correct, right? So because on 3D views, there's no guarantee you're going to draw that in a you know, exactly. So this could be perfectly, it can be that place. So how can we actually know which surface we're working on, right? So there's one way you can know that. You go to your actually create, click on create. So we haven't use this one yet, but we are going to gradually use that. Right? You can see there's a work plan. So show is going to show your working plan. Right? You see that's why actually the void we created a moment ago end up here. Because what? Because that's our default work plan. Level 1 actually. Right? So unless we change that, so whatever you draw will go directly to the level 1, right? To level 1. So that's what happened, why we have this, right? We thought we draw that on top of the wall, actually we end up here, right? So if you click on one more time, it will gone, right? Will gone, right? The set one, you can set a new work plan, right? If you have one, right? So only now, only we have a level 1, level 2, right? Don't worry about that, okay? Now let's cancel, right? We need to name the plan first before we can create a void, right? Let's cancel modeling. All right, now go back to level 1. First, let's create 2 working plan, right? We're going to create 2 working plan. Y is a vertical. The working plan is going to be the same as your interior side of your concrete wall, right? Let's go there and reference plan. Create one using the interior side of your concrete wall. Give a name, right? We give it a name called what? PK1 or PK2, doesn't matter, right? Pocket 1. Right? Then let's go to our south elevation. We're going to create another reference plan. This time it's going to be what? Horizontal one right, on top of your concrete wall, right? We call, click the name, we call this one PK2, right? Enter. So we create 2 reference plans now, right? So each one of them have a name, right? We're in good shape now, right? Let's go to our 3D view again. Okay, and this time we can actually, before we, we're going to draw the box on top of this wall, right? But we really want to work on top of the wall instead of go level 1, right? Let's start to set our working plan, right? Before we do anything, right? You can go to show, right? Show currently is level 1, right? Go to set. We want to set our working plan to which one is the one PK2, right? PK2 is our horizontal one, right? And say okay. Now you see you're working on this one now, right? If you draw a box now here, you guarantee you're going to be right on that place, right? So afterward, are you guys with me now? Good? Okay, then let's go to structure, component, model in place, and this again wall, right? We didn't do very successful last time because we didn't set up the working plan, right? Now we can say okay, and call this one what's a PK2 or whatever you call PK1, PK2. I call this PK2 because I'm working on my PK2 plot, right? Say okay. Your PK2 is supposed to be a void, right? Void by extrusion. This time, if you go there, right, and you draw the box, now you guarantee you're going to be what? On the wall, right? Because we set it on the wall, right? And then you can go down, for example, 2 feet. Say done. All right, yes, looks good, right? But we needed one more step. This is just a void form, right? The next step, we're going to tell the computer, okay, we want to cut the concrete wall using this void, right? So we go to cut geometry. You need to go to cut geometry. Click on that. You'll first tell the computer which wall you want to cut. So this wall I want to cut, use which void? Use this void. You see, you cut it right over there.
How did you do that again?
Right. Are you in this step? No. Yes.
No, yeah. I have a,
This step?
yep.
Okay. You have this, right? You select that. You need to actually go to let me go back one more time. All right, you can start draw this on this surface. Right, then you give a depth. The depth could be, if you go positive 1, they go up, right? Negative 1 going down, right? Negative 2. Good. Then say done. With me now?
Yeah.
Right? You first draw the box, then give the box a depth.
This one messed up, so it's just saying this.
No. Right? You
That
draw.
one's good. That one's good.
Yeah, you need to delete the one now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to delete the one now. You cannot draw multiple. It's just one by one. You cannot draw multiple boxes, right? Make sure you have one clean one, then.
Then now it's good.
Yep. Okay. Good. All right. With this one, we need to do the cut, right? Do the cut. We need to cut geometry. First, you pick the wall to be cutted. Then you pick the void shape to cut a wall. Now you have this pocket, right? Then you say finish. All right, now you have a pocket. And you actually can change the shape. If you go to select the pocket and then say edit in place, you can actually pretty much change the depths, right? And change the size, right? As you will. You may be wondering, this is just one bin pocket. What about if I have multiple, right? Let's first turn off your working plan, right? Since we're already done, right? We just turn this off, right? So you can see the example. Your working plan don't have to be always horizontal or vertical. It can be slightly rotated, right? So that's sometimes recommended.
So I'm going to set the reference point.
How do you what?
Set the reference point.
Have you set it?
I zeroed.
Did you draw that?
In the work plan.
Yeah. Did you draw that?
No.
Yeah. All right. You go to set. You go to your either 1 or 2, right? So 2, right? Now you are on the one you just created, right?
Okay.
Then you go to your structure, woman, place, your wall, right? And you call this PK2, now copy 2, right? Now from here you're going to create a void by intrusion. This box, let's just use this one. Right? And give the depths. See that?
Yeah.
Then you can drag this up and down if you want it wider. Afterward, you need to cut it just off your wall. Cut. Cut. Right?
Good.
So I should cut it. Cut geometry. This wall. This is right. No, it's right. See that? Then you can actually turn off this one. Right, and turn off this off, right?
Okay.
Not have a pocket. All right. All right. Have you ever wondering, okay, how many bin pocket if I have a multiple bin, right? What are you going to have, right? You're going to have multiple. So how can we create a multiple? Well, of course you can draw one by one. A better way is use what? Array, right? You guys remember that powerful weapon we have? All right. Let's click on this. Before you can copy it directly, you have to go to edit in place, right? So from there, you go to modify, actually select the box, use array. How many you want? Let's create 6 of them, right? Let's assume we have 6 bin. All of them need a pocket. Actually 2, right? Because the other side of the wall you also need one, right? So from here you can pick a starting point. So by moving along the wall, so you actually can see, right, the dash line, you could just move along the dash line horizontally until this point, you're satisfied. Right? You'll say, okay, how many you need? You need 6, right? Confirm. Now you have 6, right? What about if I want to have, okay, I have one is bigger than the rest of them, right? Then you need, okay, I need to actually ungroup the whole, because when you do array, all the created one become one group, right? So we have to ungroup them to be able to edit individually. So then I said, okay, now I can make this one bigger without affecting other one, right? Afterward is it done, right? What's your question?
When you select it, and then you press edit in place, when I click array, there's not an option to,
You probably didn't select. Right, let's see. All right, you first select this one, right? Then you go to edit place. Then you already selected it, right?
Yep.
So then let's see, pick this one, right? Finish selection, right? Now you are right. This one will go either way. All right. Now, okay. Do you want to try another one like this power outlet? And to the lower part of the wall, right? Let's go to do that, right? This way we're gonna use another surface we created a moment ago, right? And let's click on structure, component, model in place, and do the same thing, wall, right? Wall, you guys still remember, right? And this one we call PK1, right? Game pocket 1. Say OK, and click on void by extrusion. All right, and this time we're going to set our working plan as the PK1, right? Say OK, PK1. OK, let's show to see where the PK1 located, right? We show that the PK1 actually is exactly the one we want, right? It's in the interior surface of the concrete wall, right? Is that good?
how do you alter the reference plan again?
All right.
For the PK, maybe.
Hold on a second. Let me go back. Now, right? It goes structure.
Yep.
Component, model in place, then you're going to wall, right? And then you say PK1. Good.
Yep.
And create a void. By extrusion. Here you can show what's currently one, right? Okay, currently this one. That's not what we want, right? We set to the new one, PK1. Say OK. And show it again, right? Make sure it is. Yeah, you don't have to show this, right? I just want to show you what it looks like. But you know, even if you do not show this, you can still draw on it, right? So now let's see, we're going to draw another box. Let's assume it's going to be a power outlet, right? So I assume this one, if you go, let's see, 6-inch into that, right, is actually pretty good, right? So you have a pocket, right, 6 into, if you want to drag a little bit wider, so you can drag a little wider. But otherwise, let's go to cut, geometry. First, you pick the wall. Second, you pick this box. Right? I think that's pretty much. You already select it? No, not yet, right? We need to go to cut again. Cut geometry. Pick the wall first, then pick until this got to be selected. All right. Say done, right? Sketch is valid. Let me do one more time, right? Avoid extrusion, that should be correct, unless I have something in the wrong direction, right? And well, let's give it a little bit bigger. It's 1 foot. So I can see better, so where it goes. Okay, that's right. So from there I go to cut geometry. Pick the wall and pick the void. Right? I think that should be. You can cut anything. Okay, let me double check this time. Let's show. Okay, I think let me do one more time, right? We create a void by extrusion, and we do something here, and then we do a depth 6 should be okay. Then say done. All right, okay, yep. And then after we're done, right? After we're done, and so we go to cut it. All right, we cut this wall with this geometry. I think that's what I did. All right.
I clicked the hole first and then the wall, and it works.
It works?
Yeah,
On yours?
yeah, I think.
All right. Let me go one more try. And place, wall, void, WK8. So you go to void, extrusion, right? This. Make sure this showed up. Okay, that's wrong, right? So that you need to go to WK1. All right, show, good. So I draw something, use this box. Right, I make that maybe 1 foot. Sometimes it could be because the direction you go. If you go, say, if you don't know which one, you can go to at least test it, right? To see 1 or -1, right? If you are not quite sure. Right? And looks like, right, looks like it's into the wall now, right? So I go to cut geometry, or should I say finish model? No, I cannot finish model now, so I go to cut geometry. Okay, cut this one. Second pick, select the void geometry to cut the solids, all right. And I think that's it, yeah, I got that, all right?
It's not letting mine cut it.
Say it again.
It's not letting mine cut.
Letting you know cut? Okay, let me get this done, then I'll handle the
Yeah.
Okay? So afterward, for the rest of you guys, you can continue to make an array, right? Let's make 5 outlets. And you have a similar issue?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the cut geometry to the wall. Right? This one. That's the
for what? Array.
There will.
Start from scratch.
Okay. I don't know why that.
Let's use this one, right? And let's go to our screen. Hit this everywhere. White. And make sure you have this.
Yeah, but, yeah. I have a reference point.
Yeah, so that's this one, right?
Uh-huh.
That's supposed to, yeah, that's the one. You have -2, so you actually go this way. You cannot cut anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you have to go to other way. I think the negative will go inside, positive will go outside.
Okay,
So now I think we're in good shape.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so we see now, right? And then we go to cut. So this wall, then we put this one. Yeah, let's,
Okay,
all right?
yeah.
So sometimes you have to make sure your extrusion, right? And typically your extrusion is, if you use positive number, it go outside. If you use negative number, go inside. So if you put a negative number, you cannot really cut anything because you cannot cut through the air, right? So for the rest of you, if you have done right the array, so pretty much that's done with this exercise, right? Let's go to level 1. Level 1, let's create 2 section plan, right? So if you go all the way up, right, there's a section icon. Horizontal. And repeat. Vertical. If you click on the one of this, right, you can see, right, that's your, if you click this one, you can see the other one, right? But no matter what, we actually, oh, one thing I forgot, right? Before we do anything, let's go back to 3D view. Okay, I show you the big pocket, right? Have you ever think about, right, the pocket is also a void, right? It's also a void. How actually we can create this brick ledge, right? How can we create a brick ledge? Well, let's figure out an easy way, right? Let's first, delete all those small box, right? Let's do that. Just leave one in place. The rest of them, pretty much deleted, right? So for this one, if we want to create as a brick ledge, this one should locate in what? In exterior surface, right? And this one should go liquid this way, right? Is correct? From here, we drag this much longer. See that? We drag this all the way. You drag this one all the way, right? Then say done. Now you have a brick ledge. Right? What we actually did is we modify one bin pocket. Right? We drag this to the exterior side. Then we just edit the shape, the length, right? All right. Okay, what's your question?
When I try and select one of the beam pockets, it selects all.
Yeah, because you have ungrouped them first. Yeah, because remember I said because the array, if you array, so you actually, they're in one group.
Isn't that right
All right, editing in place, right? First of all, yeah, that's pretty good, right? Because you use some ungroup. Yeah, now you are individual.
Cool.
Yeah, if you use some of those, just leave one. So when you create it as an array, they became one group, right? One group. So you need have to ungroup them. All right. Now that's how you're going to create the bricklet, right? Of course, you can do for the all four side, right? Next thing, let's
Actually,
go to rebar, right? Let's go to rebar. So we go to level 1, create a 2 section plan, right? Have you guys got this done? 2 section plan?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's click on 1. All right, let's put some rebar in the footing, right? Okay, let's structure rebar, right? Click on rebar. They say okay, rebar something, right? To say okay, right? And would you like to load the family? Yes. So the rebar actually, all the rebar shape are defined in folder called structural rebar shape. Well, let's load all of them so you get a familiar, right? So from 00 all the way to T9, right? Use your shift key. Then click open. Yep. Go to click that rebar, right? Then you need to load family. Yeah, go to select from 00 all the way down. Yeah. Select all of them. Right? You will load it. Okay, after you load it, and right, you don't want to just want to see the rebar just by number, right? Actually, there's a rebar browser. If you click the three dots, you can see, right? Right next to that rebar shape 00, there's 3 dots, right? 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. Click on that. That opened a rebar shape browser on your right hand side. So then you can browse all the rebar shape, right? Click on that. Of course, you click again, it will disappear, right? So take a look, how many rebar shape, right? You have a lot of them, right? You can take care of a lot of different situation, right? Yeah, go to structural rebar shape. Go to structural rebar shape folder and select all of them.
shift control.
Well, you can there's multiple ways to do that, right? You have to limit to one way, so you can go simply. Right?
Shift all. And then you said click the little dots.
Yeah, click on the 3 dots, right? You have the rebar shape browser open. Have you loaded rebar yet? You did? So you click on this one then. You don't want to load one, so you need to load all of them. You go here, and you go to where to load shape, yeah. And those shape you go to your yeah. So you actually hold your shift key all the way down. Right. So you go to ball. Then you click the 9-1, the 3 dots over there, so you should have all the same. Yeah. Okay, this is actually quite convenient. Well, take a look what we have now. We're going to draw a rebar. Let's see, first of all, let's configure the rebar for this footing, right? Let's assume we have a full bottom bar longitudinal and 2 top bar longitudinal, right? Then we'll have a stirrup, right? Stirrup, right? So let's first put in the full bottom bar. So this way, you can see, right, it's perpendicular to workplace or parallel to workplace, right? Or perpendicular to cover, right? So this is our, because of our section plan, right? This is actually our work surface, right? So if we put a longitudinal bar, that's supposed to be perpendicular, right? Let's click on the perpendicular to cover. And we'll click on the layout. So that's the powerful part, right? You can see you can specify full by fixed number, or you can specify maximum spacing, right? Why is there no minimum spacing? So you guys learn this right now? Because the more rebar, the stronger of your element. So maximum spacing is what? Actually the minimum quantity, right? So they only tell you cannot put it less, but you can always put more, right? That's why you have the maximum spacing, right? So let's use a fixed number, right? Fixed number 4, right? We say we're going to put a 4 perpendicular to the workspace on the bottom. You move your cursor, right? Move your cursor. Something wrong. Right, rebar. All right, and go to perpendicular. Go to the fixed number, the 4. Yep. And you can see when you move your cursor, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And move to the edge, right, of the green dash line, which means your protection thickness, right? So click on that. We have 4 at the bottom. Let's create 2 more on the top. So we change the quantity to 2, then we move our cursor to the top of the surface. We create 2 more, right? Now we have, okay, we finished creating the longitudinal bar, right? Let's do a stirrup, right? Before we do the stirrup, we need to do what? The stirrup actually is a surface. It's going to be parallel to your work plan, right?
Why are yours triangles?
Which triangle?
Are yours
rebar? Well, actually, it's just because too small. If you zoom in, it should be wrong.
Okay.
All right? It's just supposed to be wrong, right? Okay, let's first change to perpendicular to work plan, parallel, right, sorry. Because we're going to put a stirrup, right? So from regular rebar, let's select the shape all the way down until we see a stirrup, right? This one, right? You see the rebar shape T1, look like stirrup, right? Select that one, then move your cursor, and you see your stirrup showed up? And if you hit your space key, you can see you can actually rotate the tie to the 4 corner, right? You see that? So if we say, okay, my tie will be on this corner, then I can put it over there, say good, then click on it. Good. Oh, I make a mistake. What mistake? Let's undo this. Okay, the mistake is I use a fixed number, right? This time change that to what? Maximum spacing. Because typically you go by maximum spacing, right? 12 inch, let's see, 12 inch maximum spacing, just undo and only have 6 rebar left, right? Also, parallel to work plan, use maximum spacing and pick this one, right? Now you move here, you can see how many stirrup you have. Right over there, 242, right? What's that mean? You actually have 241 feet, right? Because, you'll start with spacing plus 1, right? So your footing roughly 241 feet, right?
Oh, so did you edit the spacing to 4 inches?
No, well, the spacing is full. Okay, that's why, all right.
Mine randomly.
Yeah, it should be 12 inch. That's why I have so many. 12 inch, right? Then you have the less, right? 81, 82. 81 feet, right? 82 stirrup, right? So then you say good. All right, we're pretty much good as this done, right? Let's click on the 3D view. We actually configured this one, right? First, if you want to see your oil rebar, let's make our footing transparent, right? So we select the footing, not the rebar, right? We go to select footing, right? Not a rebar, right? Okay, and select the footing, right click, override graphic in view by element, surface transparency, make 50. Apply, okay. Now you see, right? We see all the rebar, right? But does this one look similar as the one here? No, right? So why this one looks more, looks more realistic, right? Because we need, okay. First of all, we need to see the detail level, right? Change that one to font level, right? First of all, change that to font level. That's the first step. Then you go to select the rebar and use right click and select all in host. All right, and from there you will go to graphic. Right? Under the graphic, there's one called edit. Graphic edit. So click on that. All right, you want to view as solid, right? You can see there's a view as solid. Check this box. Yeah, check that box. Then you're going to see the solid rebar. All right? Okay, you can see the detail shape, right? Right, click on those bottom longitudinal, right? Bottom longitudinal bar, right? Click on that. So there's in the property window, there's a hook, right? See a hook at start. Let's pick a 90-degree hook. And hook at the end, let's pick a 180-degree hook so you can see what it looks like, right? See, apply. Right? Now you see you have a hook, right? Now you can see this side is 90-degree hook, right? The other side is 180-degree hook, right? All right. Let me do the last one, right? Last one, let's do one of the wall. Let's do that on the either south wall or north wall, right? South wall, yes, let's go north wall, right? What we're going to do is we're actually going to using another method called area, because this one going to go to big area, right? Click on that and pick the wall. Oh, the reason we couldn't pick any wall because what? Let's first select all the wall. Select all the wall. Select all. And the reason it couldn't add rebar is because it had to define as structural wall. Okay? Without defining this one as structural wall, you cannot add rebar, right? So click on that, structural. Then we can start to do the area, right? Then we can start to do the area. Let's pick this one, right? Now you can see, right? We'll pick this wall. And say no structurally loaded. Actually, we already loaded. We don't want to load anymore, right? Would you like to load one now? Say no, right? Actually, we already loaded a lot, right? Okay, now you can, for example, you can draw the profile or you can pick a line, right? Let's just draw the profile, right? We can draw a rectangle quickly. Right? Say, yeah, I think sometimes you have this. Well, let's take a look. So before we do anything, let's make this wall transparent again, right? Use your tab key until you select the wall, not the rebar, right? The rebar actually have a X in the middle, right? So make this one overriding view. Make this transparent so you can see that, right? Apply, okay. Now what you see is, oh, you have to make this one, sorry, you have to make it in 3D view, right? In a 3D view, use a tab key. Right, make that one in 3D view transparent. Okay, fine. Okay, right. Now you can select actually all the rebar in the host, and you can do again use visible in 3D view, make it solid. Now you can see, right? You have this bar too. All right. Those rebar you can change from here, right? For example, all the property you want to change. For example, you want to add some hook, etc. Yeah, that's where you're gonna, right? You're gonna add it, right? You can see. Exterior major hook type and currently is none, right? And if you want to add something, you say, okay, 180 degree. Well, it will show up, right? You can see, right? You already added hook, right? Yeah, over here. Right? So that's how you actually add a rebar on the big area, or using the section view to add it in a smaller. Actually, not smaller, right? A linear one, right? Linear one. All right. I think that's pretty much what we covered today.